Hey everybody, it's Jason from paranormal.net. Now, usually media outlets don't cover the paranormal, at least not as much as I think they should. But 'tis the season. It is October, and since the news needs fluff almost as much as it needs controversy, and they consider the paranormal fluff for the most part, this time of year usually has them plucking out ghost stories that they would usually ignore. They usually ignore them so they can spend more time on pressing issues such as Melania Trump's shoes. By the way, excellent journalism, New York Post. You can't even read the articles on their website because of all the pop-ups. I've got an idea. Why don't you guys report on ghosts or UFOs for a change? Or hell, talk about how hunger affects 41 million Americans, but at the same time we waste 50% of our food. Report on something like that. Seriously, shoes? Alright, that's enough for my ranting for now. Here's the picture we're talking about today. I'll give you the backstory on it here in a moment. But before I do, I think it's important to talk about categories of ghost pictures out there. What categories? Well, I'm glad you asked. The first category, in my opinion, are obvious fakes. Here's one right here. The only thing ghostly about this picture is how it haunts Google search results. You see this picture everywhere. Many of you might not agree, but I think this is a poor attempt at a realistic looking ghost photo. The colors are off. The ghost looks black and white where everything else retains color. Also, when you zoom in on the ghost, it pixelates far quicker than the guy on the right does. And that's an obvious sign these two didn't pose for a picture at the same time. The ghost is probably resized and pasted in at a later time. You might think it's real, but if you do, you might think this is too. And that would be awesome. The next category are good fakes. These are fake just like the last, but they're done with somebody with much more talent. Here's an example. This picture was taken of a burning building, and upon developing, the photographer of the picture said he was shocked to see a girl standing in the doorway with a raging inferno right behind her. It does look very convincing. After this photo was posted online, people's opinions changed. If there are two things the internet's better at than anything else, it's trolling and detective work. Check this out. This is a very old postcard. As you can see, it's also the very same girl. Their faces and dresses look exactly the same. It doesn't mean this girl is haunting this building. It means this is the same girl, same picture. The third category are accidental fakes. This could be something like double exposure. Sometimes this just happens, and it doesn't matter if it's an old film camera or a new digital camera. Now, this photo right here is a very well-known photo, but a lot of people think it's more than likely a double exposure. If you look closely at the picture, you'll see the collar of the ghost in the back seat can be seen through the solid metal around the car's window. If you read the story about the woman who took this picture, she thought it was a picture of her dead mother, and I really don't think she did this on purpose. But it might be a double exposure, might not. I'll let you decide that for yourself. The fourth category are artifacts. This is stuff like orbs, which is dust, or mist, which can be smoke or vapor in the air. It even can be a camera strap. I've had that actually happen to me before. It doesn't seem like it's possible, but if you take a picture with a camera strap dangling in front of the lens, it doesn't look like a camera strap. It really doesn't. Lots of times it will come out as just a weird glowing mist in front of the camera. It's weird looking. So we have bad fakes, good fakes, unintentional fakes, things that aren't ghosts at all, and there's also the fifth category, and the last one. These are potentially real photos of ghosts. Now let's look at this picture. This story was originally posted by Inside Edition. It was taken by this guy named Troy Vance right here, who lives in Ohio. Troy said he had been hearing noises in his truck, like whispering and growls. He took this picture of his truck, and as you can see, it looks like there's a little boy in the front seat. Okay, we've zoomed in on the picture, and I just want to talk about it a little closer. Now, the colors match, proportions match. It's not an obvious fake, I don't think. It's not a trick of light or shadows. It's obviously the face of a little boy. You can see both eyes, eyebrows, the nose, but the nose is kind of obscured from this thing. It looks like he's got a dream catcher or something hanging on his rearview mirror. But you can see it's got like 3 prongs sticking down from the bottom, and one of them goes straight down this boy's nose. So you can't really see his nose that well. At first, I thought maybe he had like a weird pointy, sharp-edged nose, but it's just that hanging down in front of it. But you can see this ear. You can see this ear. You can see he has dark hair, but it's hard to tell the hair. And I want you to notice something. There's a fog on the window right here. You can see it in the picture. And the fog comes over here and bleeds in, kind of covers up the boy's head and everything. So, not saying there's not a way to Photoshop that, but I think it would be very tough, and it would be an extra layer of something you would have to do to make this look like a real picture. And I think that would be just silly to do. It would be more work. Why would you add something like that to it when you could just add him over here where there's not that? But anyway, it does lead me to think, whatever this is, it's behind this fog or whatever on the windshield. Like I said, the colors match. It's not like this is a brighter color or a darker color or more saturated than the area around it. So I really don't think it's Photoshopped. Not saying it's not, but I really don't think it's Photoshopped. And I don't think it's an obvious intentional fake. Now, if it is faked, I think the only way he could have really have done this is possibly getting some kind of mannequin head that looked realistic and putting it in the truck. I don't think that, but I do think it looks like a physical object to me. It doesn't look manipulated. So they posted this a couple days ago. I just got around to seeing it the other day, and I thought I'd share it with anyone who possibly hasn't seen this photo. I do think it's compelling. I do think it's at least not obvious. And, today with all the tools everyone has, it's easy to fake these things. So, I wouldn't place any money on, this is legitimately a ghost in this picture. He might have had a neighbor kid sit in the truck, and when the reporters came out, the neighbor kid wasn't around, so they didn't know. I mean, there's a ton of possibilities this could be, but I do think it's something there. But who knows, I'll leave it up to you guys to decide. Well, that's it for today. Thanks for watching, and remember, there's no reason to be normal when you can be paranormal. Take care.